born a man and you will die a man. You were born a man and you will die a man.
All lies will be exposed.
Oh, yeah. Booyah. Hey, what better way to start off the show than with having an awesome guest? And we haven't had a guest on for quite some time. Working on getting a lot of guests, reaching out to a lot of people reaching out to me. Actually, some bigger names, too. Stuff that has surprised me. And also working on, dare I say it, some other projects. But I will keep that all under wraps because right now, folks, no matter what happens, Hardlands Media is going to be bringing in people who I like to call the Dauntless Few. And this person has, in my short time knowing them, has not only proven that they are dedicated to the work of independent media, journalism, commentary, but also standing up for others. And is also somebody who I like to call a fast ally and fast friend. Give it up for CB Applejack. You have seen him on programs such as Misty Winston's show on Due Dissidence, RBN, but I'm not doing you any service. Please, good sir, introduce yourself to our viewers and subscribers. Tell us who you are, how you got into journalism. A beginning is a very delicate time. The floor is all yours, and I'm shutting up.
Hello, everybody. It's Applejack. Nice to see all of y'all here. I got into journalism. To be honest with you, I was actually activated back in Bush times during the Iraq and Afghanistan war. Unfortunately, I was more Democrat-leaning, thinking that they cared about us. Loving to see the Gators in the chat. I'm proud to say that I'm a lot wiser now. In my long time of work, I see a bunch of some of my New York buddies over in the chat, like Lady Alex. I've been doing journalism for a long time, but my focus is mainly electoral and anti-war.
Fantastic. Well, first of all, I just want to say that you have been really doing a lot of good work, especially in regards towards bringing awareness to a lot of social justice and also about how people's rights are also being infringed upon. And recently, in private, you did reach out to me telling me that you were in East Palestine, Ohio. Now, for those of you who have forgotten, East Palestine, Ohio, unfortunately, was a man-made disaster that easily could have been avoided if we updated our infrastructure and actually have, an updated train rail system like we see in China, South Korea, Japan. But unfortunately, there was a horrific train accident in which the people of that community were exposed to dangerous chemicals. Now, in the aftermath of it, I found it so hilarious. Not hilarious, but it was just hypocritical of seeing latte drinking liberals saying, oh, well, they probably voted for Trump, so they deserve it. I don't care who you vote for. No one deserves to be exposed to dangerous chemicals, okay? Be it Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care. But it's clear that even after that disaster, the crisis still remains. So you are actually you were actually there on site interviewing people. I know there's some things that you're still working on that you have to keep confidential, but at least let's start from the beginning. What caused you to get involved in East Palestine, Ohio, and to follow up on the story that, dare I say it, has probably been forgotten by a lot of people already?
Well, I thought it was very funny. I'm from New York, but I moved out to Ohio. I want to say in 2020 at the height of our other so-called disease, COVID.
Oh,
and
yeah.
When I moved out there, I had heard about the train derailment. I want to say, what was that, February 3rd of 2023. And I couldn't find it on the news anywhere. So I was like, okay, let me head out there. It was about, I would say, an hour and a half away from where I was staying at the time. So we were like, let's go out there. Let's do something. I came to Ohio and it was like complete freedom. Because how it was during COVID in New York, you couldn't even walk out your house without getting a $500 ticket.
Jeez.
So it was quite ridiculous how it was going on over there.
We had something like that in Chicago with our fantastic mayor Lori Lightfoot, and geez, the fact that Brandon Johnson's now more hated than her is a miracle in its own right. I'm getting off topic. Go ahead, continue. The floor is yours. Just want to say the same thing happened in Chicago too, in some ways, not exactly.
I hear you, especially with Lori Lightfoot. I'm a little familiar with her as well, especially with some of the accusations of murder that she might have been not involved with, but around the situation of. There's been a lot of talk around her, but let's not get
Yeah.
sidetracked.
Yeah, let's not get sidetracked.
So I came out and I was seeing all this freedom over here in Ohio. So I'm like, let me just go out there and check this thing out. I made it out there February 5th. I want to say around like close to 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard. When I drove out there, it was already supposed to have been a controlled burning of the chemicals that they were stating over there. It wasn't that controlled. They sent it up and they started it for 3 p.m. and it didn't go off until I want to say 4:50. So I literally just made it to see all the huge flames and the huge mushroom plume, which was
Christ.
ridiculous. It looked like a what you see when they're testing nuclear explosions. It was. I've never seen it in person in my life, and I took a picture of it. It went viral. Funny little sidetrack note. I put that picture up on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. And I got huge traction. It went viral. A couple celebrities shared it, and our friend over, I'm pretty sure friend to the show, Donald Trump Jr., cropped my face and name out, took my words and picture, and posted it on as if it was his own, which I thought was pretty funny.
Donald Trump Jr., and the off chance you're watching this show, don't you think you owe CB Applejack an apology? By the way, I know he's got a podcast. I think, you know what? Let's get you on the show. Let's Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, I think you made a big oopsie, but there you go, whatever. But let's get it. Anyways, I did not know that. That's incredible news.
Yeah, I can send you the photos, the screenshots of that. It was funny.
Yeah, send it my way. Send it my way. Definitely. I'm begging.
Can I put it in the studio chat?
I think not only can you put in the live stream chat, but you could also private message me that too, so we can post and share it and bring more attention to it. So do what you got to do. But folks, for everyone that's watching this story right now, so hold on, he's going to come back, and definitely he will. He better come back. So just so you guys know, there's still this whole aftermath and crisis with this train crash. So I got a video here. When he does come back, I think he is coming back right now. I want to at least pull up this video here just to kind of get an idea of what we've been facing off against. So hang on, we got our man Applejack coming back. Let's go ahead and play this video.
2 years since the train carrying dangerous chemicals.
Here. Let us unmute here. Okay. Oops. Oh, hey. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. We have a delay. A
little technical difficulties. I apologize, but I just sent that to you on it.
It's all good. Let's go ahead and at least play this video. But if you have the link, go ahead and share it, and then we will be set and ready. If you gotta remove yourself, I'll let you back in. So it's all good.
Carrying dangerous chemicals derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. To this day, a number of residents still haven't been able to return home, and many of the ones who did return are seeing impacts to their health. ABC's Melissa Don has more.
In February of 2023, 11 cars carrying hazardous materials spilled toxins into the environment of the small town of East Palestine, Ohio. The spill forced hundreds of nearby residents out of their homes. Those who stayed or returned are reporting serious health issues. One woman said her family is still experiencing rashes, numbness, ear pain, bloody ears, and hair loss. Other families say that their blood and urine are positive for toxic chemicals like vinyl chloride and benzene. One man blames his male breast cancer diagnosis on exposure to the toxins. While official investigations into the contamination remain inconclusive, they are still underway. Now the National Institute of Health is launching a $10 million 5-year study to track the long-term health impacts. Federal officials say East Palestine residents deserve science-backed answers, and this research is designed to deliver just that. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Don.
Again, it's a huge crisis there, but go ahead, my friend. The floor is yours.
So, First, I want to dispel some of the misinformation. They're saying that there was things that that this is something that's new to them. It's new in a large scale, but back in 2012, this very same thing with 23,000 pounds of vinyl chloride chemicals during a train derailment happened in New Jersey, which was in my backyard, in Paulsboro, New Jersey. So this is something that they've dealt with, and they've acted in the same way, tried to keep it quiet, and to this day, there's statistics and studies showing that Paulsboro, New Jersey, has an abnormally high rate of cancer. It's highly carcinogenic. It does cause a lot of issues. So this isn't something that they're not understanding or knowing. This is something that they knew that their infrastructure wasn't good. They had bad bearings. And they try to blame it completely on Donald Trump too, because he pulled back on some of the work on the infrastructure. But this has been going on. Doesn't matter whether if it's been Democrats in power or Republicans in power. The
Yeah,
money can go straight out to foreign nations, but they can't come to fix our own streets and railroads.
that is one of the fears that I have since I live on the south side of Chicago. One of my fears and concerns is like, look, we got a lot of train yards here too. Now, obviously, they're not rolling at high speed, but there's always a concern of bridges collapsing. You know, I have walked under my fair share of Chicago bridges where there's a train above us, you know, and hey, trains got to go everywhere, across bridges, across roads, across rivers, all that kind of stuff. But I've been looking at some of the pillars, steel pillars, concrete pillars, and they're all crumbling, cracking, and it's just like, someone better fix that like right now, like right away, because that looks like a no bueno and that looks like a disaster ready to happen. And of course, with these chemicals being released and people being exposed to it, and we don't have a proper healthcare system in this country, that in turn causes people to get very sick, medical bills pile up, and then all of a sudden, hey, wait, property values are going down because of a dangerous chemical spill. Now, the Biden administration took their time, at least Joe Biden himself took his time of visiting East Palestine, Ohio. And it's also important to point out that at least Trump, to his credit, did show up. And while we have our criticism of Donald Trump, there's a lot of things to blame him for. I don't think he's responsible for the train crash, but yet people were blaming him and by proxy saying that the people who live there deserved it. Now, I don't think anybody deserves to get sick. I don't think anyone deserves to have their community upended and their lives upended because of a disaster that could have been avoided if we actually invest in America instead of wars or bailing out banks. So you spoke to some people, and it's clear to me, and it's clear to me, like, look, first of all, one, I really do respect your on the ground field investigation. It reminds me of just some of the stuff that we did back in the day, and I hopefully, God willing, we get to do that again without any further distractions. However, you were there on the ground. Now, there's obviously some things that you can say and cannot say, but for the people that you did interview, what are some of the stories that stood out? What's happening on the ground? How are people responding? And how is this administration being perceived by the people in that community?
So I do want to say that it's very they do have very different opinions depending on who you speak in and what part of the village of East Palestine, Ohio, and I call it Palestine, not Palestine. A lot of the people that live there, it's right on the border of PA, so a lot of them have like a PA accent. They'll call it Palestine. They'll call a creek a crick. So it's different, you know. But to be honest, they are all in unison with certain things. Like when it comes to Democrats, they all believe that Democrats left them high and dry. None of them tried to come in and save them. They were speaking on Pete Buttigieg, or Mayor Pete, as I like to call him. And they were saying how he was just trying to cover everything up and then try to save his own butt by trying to blame everything on Norfolk Southern. But and the other thing that they're in unison with is a deep hatred for Michael Regan, who was the 2023 head of the EPA and the EPA in itself. During 2023, when I went out there and I seen the mushroom plume, I went out there with another a friend who's also a YouTuber. Her name is Savage Joy Marie, and we were out there and we protested the EPA building. We were able to send out, reach out to the EPA, got no response. Recently, I went out there last Sunday, reached out to them, no response. And it's just they're just trying to not in a communicate with anybody who's trying to report what's going on. But they'll sit there and state that the air quality is great and you can drink out of the water. To this day, this is what, it's been almost 3 years, 2.5 years since this happened. They still drink out of water bottles, which comes with its own problems with PFAS. But I mean, I'd rather get poisoned by plastic right now than to have to drink some of the oily water that's out there.
This reminds me of not one but two of our documentaries that we did for Hard Lens Media. I know Hard Lens Media actually did 2 documentaries. I would like your thoughts on it. I mean, the last time we were there was in 2023, but it reminds me of our coverage in East Chicago in Indiana, where there was a community that was built on top of the remains of a lead smelter factory. Now, there's no such thing as a safe amount of lead. No such thing. I want to give a shout out to my colleague, Daniel. No such thing as a safe amount of lead, people. No such thing. That doesn't exist. No such thing. But the amount of lead in the soil, me and Daniel, the first time we were there, the person giving us the toxic tour told us, hey, those shoes that you have on, either thoroughly clean them or throw them out, because it's not 100 times. But at least if I'm correct, maybe 1,000 times more the amount that should be exposed to people. And then there's also the facilities and industrial facilities dumping in and polluting out toxic waste and material. We were there, I think, one time in 2018, I believe. And then there was another time we returned back in 2023. I'll be more than happy to send you those 2 documentaries. YouTube was happy to suppress them, but we'll be more than happy to at least share that, because it sounds shockingly familiar of authorities being like, well, you got to go to, I bet they told you that you have to go to a city authority and then a state authority, then to another agency. Is that what the people are being told, that they're being told to go around a maze of red tape?
Instead, I've from what I've been being told from a lot of the residents, is they're getting somewhat of a runaround, but it's a little different. It's like they're being told that Norfolk Southern, which is the railroad company that was responsible for this, and the EPA and everything is telling them, hey, we've set aside massive amounts of money to try and reimburse people. But then they're either picking and choosing who they send it to, or they're either picking and choosing who they send it to, or they're not sending it at all. People are still waiting for some type of assistance. They're either going within households, paying one person a part of the family and not paying the other. It's really, really ridiculous. They've reimbursed people, some people for air purifiers, some people they've denied it, and they're living right across the street from each other. It's
okay. Okay, because now I'm starting to get like it's becoming clear. There's a system of favoritism, neglect, and there's also people who are afraid. Now, has there been any kind of organizations or groups that are really trying to challenge not only Norfolk, but I guess these politicians too, for the negligence? And I don't want to. If I'm wrong on this, correct me. But I have this sinking pit in my stomach, thinking that there's probably some groups or people that are being threatened to be told to shut up. Or is that happening? Is there any kind of threats happening to people who are still like pushing this as far as they can, so that at least some justice and accountability is happening? Or am I wrong on this?
Actually, there's a class action lawsuit happening right now. Wow. Because the EPA was threatening health providers, telling them not to take care of anybody who's been complaining from East Palestine. They do not want anybody who's been claiming to have been suffering from anything that sounds close to what can happen with a lot of the chemicals that were burnt there. and they wrote it in a note. They wrote it in a letter, and the letter got out. It's gone viral from what I'm hearing. I haven't read the letter myself, but I have read up on a lot of the lawsuit that's going on. And yeah, it seems like now the EPA wants to settle instead of having a lot of the deposition go out there towards people. But but yeah, it's to the point where almost every adult 18 and up in East Palestine is able to attach themselves to this lawsuit. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, well, I am ever hopeful that there's going to be some kind of accountability, some kind of peace, some kind of justice, and some kind of way in which, people can be made whole. But there is that concern of the legal system and how, again, because how the EPA wants to settle kind of makes me wonder, like, oh, okay, they want to settle, which means either they know they don't really have any kind of real leg to stand on, or they're just hobbling around, just trying to delay, hoping that people will get tired and bored and give up, because that's how the system works, And so in many ways, this is just a huge fight that people are stuck in. So, what stories really stood out to you? I think I already asked this part, but like, were there any other stories that did stand out to you, to the people you interviewed? I understand if you have to keep them anonymous.
Well, one person that did give me the permission to use his name was Curtis May. He was I was able to record the audio while speaking to him with his interview. A lot of them did not want to be on camera. He was telling me about how difficult it's been for him, and how he's been having this just having to bang his head over the wall just to get a simple checkup done. He's also explained to me that his buddy, they work as first responders, and when the first responders came in, they did not give them any understanding or any notice of what was going on. They just went out there as regular, like in their regular gear, trying to fight fires and trying to assist people, until eventually they got them hazmat suits. After they were done doing the work for the day, the government would take the hazmat suits, ship them away, and leave them there, and then just send them new hazmat suits. Like, the hazmat suits were more important than the first responders fighting to protect the community.
It sounds familiar, because when I was in the Marine Corps, there was always a joke like the gear is worth more than you. So, just kind of hits a little close to home, especially seeing how the federal government treats, like, equipment and stuff. Even though, like, there's a lot of times that the government will abandon it, but in regards to people, I guess people are replaceable. The equipment isn't. So, and then of course I'm willing to bet, and this is just my opinion, I'm willing to bet those hazmat suits are somewhere in a warehouse, not even folded properly, and it's just collecting dust. How do I know that? Because I've heard this story before. So again, it's already right off the bat. It's sounding like, there's a growing anger and fury. Were there any people, I guess, in the political establishment, or any people who are like I guess equivalent to a council member or an alderman, or village leaders that are at least trying to shake things up, that people are rallying around? Because this is a time where you need the leaders to step up, or is there just nothing but radio silence at the town level, at the state level? I mean, because I know that the governor recently did a tour in there and tried to almost do like an Obama-like drinking the water kind of moment.
Well, that's the thing. See, there's let's be frank. This whole area is more Republican leaning area, but they'll some of them will be like, yeah, Donald Trump came over here. They'll give him a little bit of praise. They don't really care so much about him. They have a huge love for JD Vance, and JD came out there before he was vice president, came out there after he was vice president. He was the first one to go into the water, start stirring the oil in the water to try bring awareness. So they give him a large amount of respect. He's also a hometown hero to them. The guys from Ohio, and these people view themselves as small town Ohio people. I do have to give some type of praise to a lot of what's been going on. Yeah, that's the plume. There's the plume that I took. I took that picture, and Mr. Donald Trump Jr. cropped me out, but kept my words though. Those are definitely my words.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, cropped them out. But your other image that you tried to send, it did not upload, or maybe it's on my end, but did not upload properly. But I think we'll probably fix that. But I just want to I wanted to share this because it just showed up now as a notification. So, other reminder: the same people not talking about that this told you plastic straws were a huge threat to the environment. Donald Trump Jr., come on, man, this is not part of the deal. Anyways, so I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought
No, you're good. You're good. The other picture was it was just my tweet showing that it was me who tweeted that, who sent that out, and it was retweeted by some celebrities that I do appreciate that they helped me get some awareness, like Rob Schneider, like Keanu Reeves. These people really did try to signal boost, so I have to give them some props. And I
shout out to
do,
Rob Schneider.
yes, and I do commend JD for going out there. To them, they view him as someone who's doing whatever he can. I didn't want to try and put my own words and my own thoughts into them. I just let them speak when I was interviewing them, but I was trying to lead them to, hey, this guy's the vice president. He can do way more. You know? But at least he went out there. It took what, a year for Biden to go out there?
I think more than that. I think more than just a year.
Yeah,
I think,
might have been a year and a half actually.
Yeah. So, and even then, he showed up during the election year, just before he had to drop out when he had his infamous failure of a debate against Donald Trump Sr. So that was saying a lot. And by the way, just a reminder for Pete Buttigieg, because I remember him walking around that area. He looked like a lost boy wearing daddy's clothes at the job site. Anyways, I guess the bar is very low when it comes down to these politicians.
Yeah. So I do want to give myself a pat in the back, because at the end of a lot of these interviews, I feel like I was able to slowly and slightly guide them towards, hey, both sides suck, and we are all we got. So we have to look out for ourselves.
I think that's a pretty good way to at least engage with the community, but also, again, kind of bring in hope, because here you are, you're an independent journalist, you're a commentator, you've been on a lot of people's shows, and I think for the most part, when a disaster like this happens, people forget, because look, there's Flint, Michigan, there's Chicago, we still have lead in our drinking water. There's the people of East Chicago and all the other outlying communities that either have been exposed or unknowingly being exposed to dangerous chemicals in Indiana with these industrial facilities. By the way, there's a reason why I don't swim in Lake Michigan anymore. There's a very good reason why. I'll send you those 2 documentaries that we did. In fact, I think now I'm obligated to repost them again. See, that's why you should support Hard Lens Media, because there's a lot of work we want to do still. And then, of course, you got what happened to the people of Lahaina. I mean, my goodness, that fire devastated so many people, especially the working poor who have been displaced, no homes, no nothing. So that's a thing that happened. And then on top of that, you have all the people who've been exposed to other dangerous disasters or natural disasters. It's the American people that are last in line. I guess the joke from Jimmy Dore is spot on. Every town and city needs to call itself Ukraine, so that way we get some money.
Yeah. Everybody needs to be a Vladimir Zelensky or something to get noticed and recognized.
I guess then I guess that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. By the way, I also want to point out too, and I want to give you this final word, because I think there's not a final word, because I think we should also move on to another story that is happening in Ohio too, and I want to give as much respect to it as possible, because, and I want you to tell this story, and if I'm wrong about it, then correct me, but you were pulled over. And it has to deal with somebody close to the community. It happened to their sister-in-law. And I think it's important that we give the respect and space to the family as much as possible. Shout out to Cowboy Kitty. But something happened to you in Ohio. You were pulled over. What happened?
So, you guys see the color of my skin. I'm half black, half Dominican. I'm Hispanic, and it's a visual thing. I work as the head of security for a company called Generic Security Services, and we mainly do security out in Cleveland. It's about an hour away from where I live regularly. So recently we were doing an event, and after the event, I was driving home. The event finished for me, I want to say pretty late, probably around 12. So I'm driving 12 a.m. So I'm driving home and I get stopped by the state police on the highway. I was going the speed limit, so I had no idea why they stopped me. But my plates are registered to me. Everything's set. I was born in the United States, born and raised in New York. So I've never known any other place. But I do know that I have my windows down. How they caught me so quickly is beyond me, but I was going like maybe 66 on a 65. When they came over, they pulled me over. I turned into the to the exit, and they pulled me over onto the beginning of the exit, entering into the exit. And he came up to my window and asked me if I knew why I was being stopped, and I didn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure I was following. I was pretty sure I was following the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was because my tints were too dark. If I knew the percentage of my tints, I have tints in the back of my car. There's no tints in any of my windows other than the back of my window. That's it.
Okay. That's why they pulled you over. Okay, because the thing is, there's been a situation happening in Ohio, and I want to bring this up here. All right. And I want to give full credit to this person here. Now, I posted this link in the description box for a video for one of our viewers. Cowboy Kitty, his sister-in-law, was detained by ICE. And there's this article came out August 4th of 2025. How Ohio built a business on disappearing immigrants. So we spoke about this, and the author of this article is, again, Descent in Bloom. Please, everyone, please follow this person. I'll be posting this link in this segment when I clip it as well, and I'm encouraging everybody to please share this story. Post, and just remember, this is hitting close to home to us because Cowboy Kitty's sister-in-law lives in Ohio, was detained by ICE. And right now, they are doing everything they can to get her free. All right. She has no criminal record. All right. She's been as good as it can be. And she has a daughter right now that's really hoping that her mom can come home. So I think it's imperative that we give Cowboy Kitty and his family as much space, but as much solidarity and love as possible. And this has to deal with a program that's being done by the sheriff's department to round up people. And of course, there seems to be a paid bonus. So for example, here, let's talk about Ohio. Let's start with Mahoning County. They didn't join 287. They didn't need to. So Sheriff Jerry Green, who served 4 years as a Democrat before flipping to the GOP and running unopposed in 2024, made a simple deal. ICE pays $125 a day for each immigrant detained in the Mahoning County Justice Center. As soon as Trump got elected, I contacted ICE in Cleveland and Homeland Security in Detroit and discussed with them that I would certainly have some open bed space if they wanted to come and take a look at us as a particular facility, and they want to be housing immigrants. So, I think it's important that we say, like, okay, they might have been pulling you aside for that cash money check, and I don't want to again say that was the case. But it did happen to one of our viewers, and this is one of our viewers' family members. And this is Natalie Vychekova, and she's, again, a 54-year-old legal resident. We did do a video about this early in August of this month. She has lived in the U.S. for 9 years, working, raising her daughter, and applying for a green card. She was stopped by Portage County, reportedly over the Ohio State Patrol for expired tags, and ended up in ICE custody. So this happened in August. We are early in August, so we are almost now at the end of this month. almost 4 weeks of terror, almost 4 weeks of pain and suffering, almost 4 weeks of uncertainty. This isn't fair to happen to this person. And it's also not fair to her family. I mean, if she hasn't broken any laws, why is she being detained unless there's a bounty?
Right.
I have spoken on some occasion with Cowboy Kitty, and to the best of their ability, they are doing everything they can to make sure that she is free. And I do hope that we get some kind of update very soon, some kind of positive update, because if she hasn't breaking any laws, if she's filing out the paperwork and that paperwork's being filed out, if she's doing everything necessary to be a good citizen, like the rest of us, minding our own business, trying to live in a world understandably out of our control, then I think we all think that she should be free and not spend one more millisecond in jail, okay? She should not be in there, period. But you have also looked a little bit more into this story too, and I want to give the floor to you, my friend.
Yeah, so basically what I've been able to find out from my end, I'm still waiting for more responses, is that they're really, really pushing to try and privatize the state police. So the way they're working on is they're deputizing, the ICE is deputizing the police to go ahead and just walking around your community. If you're off duty and you're just home or whatever, you're looking for what seems like an immigrant or whatever, and they're trying to pay off any one person that you bring. And it's been very, very disheartening, because now you're basically turning the citizens against each other, because not only are the police doing this off duty, but they're having their family members do it, and they split the money with them. There's been some reports where legal immigrants are turning on illegal immigrants who had originally helped them get into the country, just to make that extra buck, just because of how hard the economy is on. So it's been very sad, and just to hear with Cowboy Kitty, which I want to give him the props, because this was off my radar completely. I learned about this through Hard Lens Media, another hard-hitting indie media show. So I want you guys to also remember, you guys got to get out there if you can. If you can't, the best way you can support is just to spread awareness. But if you can, help out the GoFundMe. Things have been very, very wicked in the way that people are using money and the legal system to attack media. And we see it in Gaza. We see it out here. We see it with our own indie media stations, where journalists are being attacked. Either they're being physically, mentally, financially. They're finding any way. And this is what we need. People like Kate, people like Hard Lens. This is what we need you guys out here for. Because even for someone like me, who's out there on the ground reporting and trying to expose things, I'm still learning things in my own state.
As you should, as you should. And the thing is, look, there's no such thing as perfect in this media sphere, because you're always going to be learning something new. And the thing is, how I found out about this story was when Cowboy Kitty did reach out to me. And he said, hey, again, this isn't exactly verbatim, but hey, can you please help share this story? I would really appreciate it. My sister-in-law needs help. Well, you know what? I mean, let's face it here. I like to help people. I like doing the good work here on this show. I think we've done a lot of great work. 8 years of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. Not BS. And when somebody asks for help, will you help them? You see a story, you share it. Now, I'm encouraging everyone, please share our original video, but also please look at the Substack article written by Descent in Bloom. All right. I'm also encouraging everyone to please share the story far and wide, not only for solidarity for Cowboy Kitty, because guess what? It's not only him and his family that are going through this. There are other people going through this too. Now, I'm pretty sure we'll get an update, whatever it is. God willing, it's positive. I think it's important that, we all show love and solidarity and support. We share the video, and anyone that's talking about, because I think Indie News Network. So shout out to Indie and Reef, and I think Carter as well. Colin was also part of that panel. They were talking about what happened to Cowboy Kitty's sister-in-law. But I also know that RBN, I think JB, also covered this story. So there's many people now in independent media talking about it, and that's good. That's very good. So Indie at INN News and RBN is doing it. If there's any other channels that I'm missing, please, audience, correct me, and let's share it, post it. Let's bring awareness to it, because, the legal system is a nightmare. And the fact that there's this program now where there's a bounty on trying to get somebody who's an immigrant, well, okay, there's a bounty system. All right. Hey, there's a cash incentive, but what happened to you, my friend? And this is, I don't want to project or say things, but we've all seen people wrongly detained, U.S. citizens, and then be incarcerated in a system in which they're trying to explain, hey, I'm an American citizen.
Right.
Hey, I'm being detained for no reason. What happened to my rights? And you're being told to shut up. And then you're serving in a prison facility that's, again, very dangerous, or heaven forbid, you get taken out of your state or out of country to somewhere. And it's not like this hasn't happened before, because there are examples. And that's what you call a living nightmare. So I want to give the floor to you, because I know that there was a couple other things you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, and shout out JB, shout out RBN, because they kind of pushed me out there,
and shout out to Do Dissidents, because they covered it too. So I apologize to Russell and Russell and Russell and Keaton. Keaton, please don't hit me upside the head with the steel chair. So go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Hey, yeah, shout out Russ and Keaton. They're out there. I hear they're out in St. Louis now, but they're from where I'm from. So I give a huge shout out to them. And
your audio's coming in a little bit raspy right now, unfortunately.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better, but just
hold on. Let's see if this works.
I think you're better now, or he's been paused. Hold on, let's go and we'll bring him right back here. So once there's a technical error is done, the mic was sounding a little bit messed up. So because I want to make sure he has a clear audio. All right, here we go. Check.
Check.
Much
Can
better
you hear
now.
me?
Yes.
There
check,
we go.
check.
All right. So shout out to Do Dissidents, who's also been helping a lot from just in my point of view from what I've been hearing. But yeah, this has been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare just to read it. I can imagine everybody that's going through it, and I hope that we do hear some good things coming from Cowboy Kitty and his sister-in-law and everybody that's dealing with it. I mean, I come from a sanctuary city, and there's a lot of people that do cause harm. I do think I'm not a complete let everybody in, open borders type guy. But I do think that legal immigration is a beautiful thing. It brings up our country and it makes our nation better. And when you're using the pretense of cracking down on immigration, but attacking people who do the right things, who are working, who aren't causing crimes, who aren't being a menace to society, I think that you're giving us all a bad image to the world abroad. And this is why we are affected the way we are when our people go out to travel and they're harmed or forbid it but kidnapped. This is the reason why. They blame us for what our government does. And I know a lot of America voted for Donald Trump, but it's a misinterpretation, because this is not what they understood. Everybody I speak to, when I bring up these issues of what's going on, they say this is not what I voted for him for. Wow. And I don't want to just sit there and blame them. Although I think I can. I've been hard strung on the stop voting movement. But what else can be said? You can't sit there and be like, "Told you so." It doesn't make things better.
No, definitely not that. And then for anyone who's going to be like, "I told you so," like when it comes down to electoral politics, break away from it. You have to break away from it, and this is why we need independent media. And look, I'm gonna bring this direct challenge to anybody that's watching this. If you are motivated by the actions of people like CB Applejack or Hardlens Media or INN or Do Dissidents or anybody, like now's the time to step up. We do need independent media reporters on the ground. We do need real truth seekers out there on the ground. We do need people who are going to be out there fighting for a better future, stepping up, showing solidarity. That's what we need. That's what we really do need, and not fake snakes and people who just want to just come into this space and I guess, I don't know what, build clout, build fakeness, because what we need is real people. And you're one of the dauntless few. And I know you got a lot of work you have to do, so I don't know how much more time you have. But if people want to follow you and support your work on social media, where can they go? How can they find you? How can they support a good person like yourself? Because you're one of the dauntless few in my book. So where can they go?
First and foremost, I want to shout out a lot of my brothers out in UMC. A lot of them are out there doing a lot and keeping my mental together. It's a brotherhood there, and there's another brotherhood I want to mention out, which is Savage Gang. Savage Gang has been it's a group of us. It's a group of eight of us who've been doing pretty well in our lives, and we don't ask for any monetary donations. We throw into a kitty and come up with our own cash to try to help the homeless, try to go around the community. We buy clothes, we buy food, perishables, we buy toys for kids. We were able, on our last event, we were able to pay for a few of the homeless to have a week's stay at a hotel with 3 meals a day provided by the hotel. We were able to help a single mother of 3 and pay her rent for the month. It's not much, we're not making these people rich overnight, but anything helps, and the government's not going to help us. So if you pay attention to my X account, that's at Applejack59. You'll see links there for my Substack. You'll see links there for and you'll see updates for Savage Gang, that our next event, once we figure it out. If you see us tweet about it, that means we already have the money. That means we already have the equipment and everything. We have the buses. We're just looking for a venue. The only help that we really want, that we really need, is people to go out there and help us distribute. We were recently at Warren Heights, Ohio. We've hit Canton, we've hit Warren, we've hit Brimfield, we've hit Massillon. We've been all around, and we just mainly around the Akron area, but we're trying to move more towards Central Ohio now. But we're just going back again. We do not want any monetary help, any monetary assistance. We do not ask for donations. Shout out to Rome from RBN, because he's the one that gave us the idea. And we just want anybody who can come out and help us distribute. I want to say thank you to the Walmart in Tuscarawas Street in Canton, Ohio, who was able to graciously allow us to use their parking lot just to distribute as much as we could. We had 16 U-Hauls filled with things that we were able to pay out and assist. You can also find me on Vin and Sori Live YouTube channel. We tried to, and Middle America, we tried to do something a little bit like this. It's not exactly my channel, but I co-host it here and there. And we just tried to explain to people exactly the way we see it. We're not left, we're not right, we're just right, So it's just, that's where you can find us. You can find me, and give a holler, give a shout out. Even if you're just saying hi, just shoot a tweet. I'm friendly.
Wow. All right, man. First of all, my friend, you are actually one of the dauntless few, and I also want to give you a personal thank you for even sharing out our GoFundMe and standing in solidarity with us. Now more than ever, there needs to be a joint coalition of independent media. I think you got what it takes to not only make a huge impact in this space, but actions speak louder than words, and you're definitely doing it. So you got my full salute, my full support. And I could say that right now, you, my friend, are going to be doing some great things in this media sphere. And once again, on a personal note from me, thank you for showing solidarity and bringing awareness to our fight, but also bring awareness to what's happening in East Palestine, Ohio. And, you know, and one other note here too, shout out to Cowboy Kitty and to your family. I personally want to see her walk out of that courtroom, hug her daughter, and hopefully they can go on living their beautiful lives. I don't know what's going to lie in the future. I want to make sure that everyone gives them respect and space, so don't be spamming his private message. But I think it's important that whatever happens, you know, Cowboy Kitty, please reach out to me, reach out to everyone in independent media, so we know how we can help in any which way, be it grand or small. So that's all that matters. All right.
Yeah, and Cowboy, if you're listening, my brother, I'm out here. I'm out here in Ohio. Just shoot me a message. Anything I can do, shoot me a message. We'll be there. One other thing I almost forgot. My brother in arms, Pasta, Craig Chardula.
Hey, yeah.
I'm going to be on with him with Truth Wire and Fiorella Isabella at some point. We don't have any times set up exactly, but once I do, we're going to be putting it out there.
All right.
Pasta,
Well,
I love you, brother.
Well, first of all, I got nothing but love for Pasta. He actually flew into Chicago. He surprised me. He flew into Chicago and said, "Hey, guess what? I'm here." I'm like, "All right, well, come on, sit on down. We're gonna, you know, we actually co-hosted the whole segment, and then I drove him right back to O'Hare, and that was a fun day. That was a fun day. So, anyways, it was great. It's always great having a guest. It's always and in your house too, you know, because it's always good to have people here. But you are always welcome here. You are always welcome in Chicago. If you're ever in Chicago, hit me up. Everyone, this is CB Applejack. We are going to be continue on with the rest of our segment. All right. I don't know if do you want us to hang out for a little bit more? Or do you got to head on?
I got a couple things I got to handle that just got text from me, but you'll
Handle
see
the
me in the chat. You'll see me in the chat.
You know what? I want you back on my show.
Definitely.
I want you back on my show. Let's see if we can get you on back on next week. I want to see if we can have you back on. Maybe you could be a full special guest co-host for the whole show. You want to do that? Then let's do it.
I would love it.
All right. Let's do it. We're gonna make that happen.
Salute to you, Hard Lens, and salute to you, Kit.
All right, thank you. We're gonna make a quick little change, and we'll start with the rest of our main show. This is gonna be a super show today, folks.